Cheryl Johnson, owner of Cheryl's Catering in Ukiah. Today we're going to show you a local Fort Bragg favorite, smoked salmon. And this particular smoked salmon we're going to put a little touch of teriyaki into. We start with a nice fresh salmon fillet. I like to use the tail pieces. They seem to smoke a little bit better because they're somewhat thinner and they don't have to be in the smoker quite as long. The first thing we do is fillet the salmon. Make sure your knife is really sharp. You're going to need it for this. You start with the tail and you can just sort of shave the tail onto the skin, and then you press the knife completely flat onto the cutting board and go ahead and just zip it right on through. We save the skin to lay over the salmon while it's smoking because the skin has a high fat content, and that'll bathe the salmon in moisture and juice and keep it nice and moist instead of hard and dry like some smoked salmon. The salmon is then cut into pieces about this size. I'd say that's a good 8-ounce fillet right there. That would be 1 pound, 2 pounds. So we're doing 2 pounds of salmon here. Then we get a bowl, put the salmon in, and then we add rock salt and some sugar. And just kind of mix it up, toss it together, make sure all the salmon has rock salt and sugar on it. If you're doing a lot of salmon, you can just layer it with a mixture of salt, rock salt and sugar. Like that, and then we cover it. And we're going to leave that sit in the refrigerator for exactly 1 hour. In the meantime, we're going to make our teriyaki sauce, which is equal portions of sugar and soy sauce with a teaspoon of powdered ginger, powdered garlic, and some chopped up green onions. That makes a really nice teriyaki for the salmon marinade. After the hour is up, take a look at the salmon. You can see in the bottom the salt and the sugar have started to liquefy. What that's doing is it's drawing the liquid out of the salmon. So it's going to be salty somewhat, but not too overly salty. So some of that liquid will have been drawn out and it's ready for smoking once we lightly rinse it and marinate it. Very light. You don't want it under the water for too long. Then you just pour in the teriyaki sauce that you made, covering the salmon. Make sure the teriyaki sauce has been cooled first. And then we let it sit overnight in the refrigerator to marinate and soak up all that good teriyaki flavor. And then in the morning, we'll smoke it. So now it's 24 hours later. We're going to go get our salmon and take a look at it so we can see if it's ready for the smoker. And there it is. Beautiful. It's got all that good teriyaki flavor soaked through and through. Some of the moisture has been leached out from the salmon into the teriyaki sauce. And it's okay to use it again as long as you bring it to a full boil for 5 minutes. So let's get this salmon in the smoker. Just a regular old electric smoker will do just fine. The old timers like the consistency of temperature as opposed to using coals or wood for smoking, which can vary in the consistency of temperature. So it's electric, you just plug it in, take out the racks. We have a 3-tier rack, and I like to put a little vegetable spray. Because we're making such a small amount of salmon today, I'm just going to use the top 2 racks. They smoke slower on the top racks. The closer you get to the bottom is where the element would be, and that would be for the thicker pieces. So we'll put the tail pieces on top. Then what we're going to do is put the skin that we saved right on top of the salmon fillet. The skin will keep it nice and moist while it's smoking. And in goes the salmon. Just cover it. There's a little pan that comes out, and you put in fruit chips. Pack it in there, and then it goes right in the little door. And the wood chips will smolder for the next couple of hours, giving the salmon that great smoked flavor. So in about 8 hours, we should have some really great smoked salmon. In about an hour before it's ready, I like to peel the skin off and brush each piece with some more teriyaki. Then we put it back in the smoker for the last hour. And then, or you could, if it's getting close to being done, maybe a half an hour. That gives it a nice, rich teriyaki glaze. And when you're done, you'll have the best smoked salmon in the West. There's nothing like home smoked salmon. It's just beautiful and delicious. Salty, a little bit sweet. You can taste the ginger and the garlic. Really nice. You can cut a whole fish in half and reassemble after smoking, hiding the seam with a decoration that you stuck on with a little gelatin mixed with water. You can leave the skin on and then peel off the part where you want the meat to show. That makes a great addition to any buffet. People love smoked salmon, and if you make it, they'll love you too. Thanks for sharing my kitchen with me. We'll see you next time on Kitchen Creations.